Hello, and welcome to the video companion for the Talking Time Let's Play of Final Fantasy XIV. I'm McDole, and in this video we'll be tackling the level 32 dungeon, Brayflox's Longstop. After all of the caves, abandoned prisons, tidal caverns, abandoned mines, spooky mansions, ancient ruins, and so forth, Brayflox is a refreshing concept, an outdoors dungeon area. I love seeing natural labyrinths like this place, and arranging them into exploration. The majority of this dungeon takes place in outdoor areas, so you get to get a look at a lot of the unique fauna for this area of the world. We're here to help Brayflox Altox, one of Whiskate's old allies from the Company of Heroes, rescue her friends from a few monsters, and find a very special food for the master of Costa del Sol, Gagaruju's party. Things will escalate. Throughout this dungeon, you'll need to rescue a few of Brayflox's goblin friends that are being menaced by monsters. This dungeon can represent a challenge, and will be something you'll start to experience as you proceed deeper into this game. The discrepancy of which your level it actually is and what level you're synced down to, and the corresponding loss of actions. For example, Sons and Sweets will be going up to level 45 on Paladin in here. At 40, Paladins get access to the Prominence ability, which is a combo skill that chains off of Total Eclipse. Players will grow accustomed to using these higher level abilities in later content, which can make it very jarring to go back to lower level content. You still have access to all the role actions you've unlocked regardless of the level you're synced to, but that only accounts for a fraction of the skills that become available while you're in a dungeon. Speaking personally from experience, I find it very difficult to play Black Mage on my main character on any other content other than level 80, because the suite of abilities that you'll earn between 50 and 80 are so integral to how the class plays that it becomes a shadow what it played like at 50 during the 2-point days. Same can be said of a lot of jobs. My advice is to find jobs that you can tolerate at the level caps 50, 60, 70, and eventually 80 to be your go-tos. As you can imagine by me talking about unrelated things over a boss encounter, this first boss encounter in Brayflox is a pretty unremarkable tank and spank boss. Just make sure you keep the boss pointed away from the party to bait the cone AoEs, and pick up the ads that spawn. I haven't seen this boss beaten before a second set of ads spawn, but he's usually close to dead by that point. The ads will vanish when the boss is defeated. The next part of this area is a small goblin village, the Longstop. There are several goblins that are being attacked by monsters, but they're not required to be rescued in order to complete the dungeon. But if you don't, then you're a monster, and you should feel really bad for not helping them. Because you gotta save the gobbies. The second boss is this Drake, which is an interesting twist. Brayflox herself will come along with the ad spawn to help. She does this while being chased by another lizard monster, which you have to provoke off of her. This doesn't mark the end of her helping to face either, because she also has access to the provoke ability, which will force the lizard to face away from the tank, which can play a lot of havoc on melee DPS trying to get positionals. If you have a healer or a black mage with you can make this fight a little less hectic. When the lizard monster and Brayflox appear partway into the fight, the black mage can inflict sleep on the Inferno Drake and put it to sleep for a decent amount of time, and the rest of the party can focus on taking out the lizard that is chasing after Brayflox. After all of that, the party proceeds into Mudstump Watergush, a swampy area with a lot of monsters and side paths. In this video, I'm showing you the most direct path, so if you're looking for map completion, I highly recommend you come back here when you're overleveled and unsynced. The Eft monsters here, big quadrupedal mud-flinging beasts, will put out a big circle AoE effect around them. This causes a magic vulnerability up. However, the only magic damage they do is from a forward conal AoE that you can easily dodge the way out of, and in a half-decent party, the Fs will go down before they even use this attack, so most players just take the hit from the magic vulnerability and just press on. The boss at the end of the Water Gush is Hellbender, a bigger and meaner version of the Fs that we've just faced. The Hellbender will pick a random party member, usually a healer or DPS, and put them in a queer bubble, freezing their movement, drastically lowering their damage output, and inflicting Dropsy, a water aspect of damage over time debuff. Once again, it's not necessary to avoid the magic vulnerability up. Just make sure that you get out of the way of the cone AoE. Once you get the Hellbender beneath 20% though... Oh my god, it's a dragon! This dragon, Ayatar, interrupts this fight, chomps up the Hellbender, and kill-steals the party. He likes to fire Line AoE Poison Breath occasionally, but knocking about 20% off of its health will send it packing. Brayflox's Longstop itself has seen better days, it seems, with all of this stuff wrecked. Probably from that dragon's rampage. There's a side path just before you go into the cave, the dragon's lair, where you can pick up an optional treasure chest guarded by a curl. This chest has a chance to contain a unique ring associated with a random class, like Gladiator, Arcanist, or Archer. The model does reflect the original job icons as well, and I know one player who passed the time by collecting the whole set of these rings. Inside the cavern, we find Ayatar's lair. This dragon can be nasty if players aren't paying attention. He'll start out much as he did during the Hellbinder fight, firing line blasts of toxic breath that are baited by the tank. In addition, some of his auto attacks will come coupled with a stacking poison +1 debuff, which can get out of hand very quickly if the healer isn't proactive in casting SML. Partway through the fight, he'll choose one player at random and target them with a puddle of toxin. The tank's objective is to keep the dragon away from these puddles, as his targeting ring is touching as a puddle, he will gain passive HP regeneration buff. Also knock the tank away, so ideally you want to make an effort to put your back to a wall so you're not knocked far away, possibly into a toxic puddle. Puddles do persist for quite a long time, but I don't think you'll ever see more than 3 active at a time. And that will just about do it, aside from Brayflox running in after the dragon is dead to claim victory. Oh well, thank you so much for watching. Link to the full LP is in the description below, and may you ever walk in the light of the crystal.